We're going to look at the groups feature in SpeedQuizzing Live, which is quite an advanced feature, but it's an important feature. It's worth knowing. If you've already looked at the SpeedQuizzing tutorials getting started and the live screen, then this is a good one to look at. So you'll notice here we've got, these are like settings panes. So that's your general settings, that's your scoreboard settings, that's your group settings. You can have these wherever you want. You can put them all in the same place if you wanted. So when you do that and you do that and you press that and I do that, you might leave them on, you can turn them off. Anyway, so we've got the group pane, and what the groups does is it ties these together, puts them in kind of teams. The reason we're not calling it teams is because you might already call Jean and Steve a team in its own right. Even though Emily's an individual, Simple Minds might be a team. So instead of calling these teams, we're calling them groups, and it's a way of linking these things, whatever you want to call them, together. Okay, so let's just make some imaginary groups. You could call them anything. It might be, it could be preferences. Let's call these the music fans. We'll have a music fans group, and I'm going to make them red, and I click create. And let's have a sport fans group, and we'll make them blue. And let's have a sci-fi fans group. Sci-fi fans, they can be green. Okay, you can see the three, I've got the three groups set up in there. There's different ways you can assign teams to a group. Now, one way would be literally to just double click on the name and put them in which group you want to put them on. Let's put them on sport fans. Okay, however, you might not want to do it like, you might want to let them decide which group they want to be in. Okay, now they're in sci-fi fans, the green group, but there's a different way, a cleverer way of having people join whichever group they want. Watch this. This is how you'd do it. You'd open the groups pane again, and you'd say, we'll click on the multiple choice one because we've got less than 6 groups. If you had more than 6 groups, you might click on that one, but we've only got 3, so we're going to click on that. You'll see the multiple choice keypad has appeared on the devices, and now you would say, right, press A if you want to be on the music fans group, B if you want to be on the sport fans group, C if you want to be on the sci-fi fans group. And I'll go press some of them. Okay. So you can all see they've all chose what group they want to be on. Now all I do is as simple as this. All the ones that have gone for A want to be on the music fans group, apply. Okay. All the ones that have pressed B want to be on the sport fans group, apply. All the ones that have pressed C want to be on the sci-fi fans group, apply. They're on the groups. It's clever stuff if I say so myself. Right, once you're on a group, what's good about a group? We'll start a quiz. Multiple choice question. In science, which of these is the control centre of a... As you can see there, 6 correct answers. The correct answer is B, nucleus. You'll see there's some flickering going on the screen. The flickering allows you to optionally announce the fastest on the green group was Jean and Steve. Fastest on the blue group was Beer Necessities. Fastest altogether, though, on the red group, it's Buck's Quiz. Letters question. Same again. The answer is H. K. Now the fastest on the green team was Jean and Steve. Fastest on the blue team was Dave, Sam and Jack. Fastest altogether on the red team. The idea is that everyone's playing as individuals, so you've got your individual score. Let's have a look at the scores. If I click on there, that should show me the scoreboard settings, and I click there, that shows it on the live screen. Now you see that's the normal scoreboard with all the individual scores. But it's only showing them in reds, greens and yellows. If we click that, it should show them in the actual colours of the groups. So you can now see that's the individual scores, but with the group colours. In addition to that, this is one of the key features, is you can look at how the groups are doing against each other. So the sport fans are doing worse. They've got an average score of 3. Music fans have got an average score of 5.5. Sci-fi fans have got an average score of 7.5. So the important thing is there that it's averaging the scores, which means you don't have to have exactly the same amount of individuals on each group. Does that make sense? Good, I'm glad it does. What else can we do? We can also look at, in here, we can look at just the music fans against each other. You can look at just the sport fans. And you can just look at the sci-fi fans, back to everyone on there. The same applies, whatever's in here will show on the device screens as well. If I click on that, that's now showing all teams. If I change that to groups, you should see it change on the live screen and on the player devices. And likewise, if I wanted to change that to music fans, it'll show music fans on there and just music fans on the device. Close that, close that. I think that's just about it. One more thing I should point out actually is I've deleted the groups now just to show you this. When you haven't got any groups and you double click on one of them, you can set a colour unrelated to any kind of group. That's just colours. So if you're not using groups, you can use the colours feature just to indicate whatever you want that to be. It could be clever teams, not so clever teams, regular teams. You can colour them. However, then once you go to create a group for the first time, that turns that feature off. You can only have one or the other. You can have groups or you can have colours. So as soon as I go and make a group, sci-fi fans create, that tells me confirmation required. You are switching from colours mode to groups mode. All selected team colours will be lost. Click that and there you go. So it's one or the others, colours or groups. Does that make sense? Good, I'm glad it does. See you all later.